Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Justice, he is Terramaster, and we are here today to do kind of the opposite of what we'd been doing with our midterm GX box predictions. We are now going to be talking about the best case scenario for each character. Let's jump right into it. We are going to start with the main Slifer Slacker himself. It is Jaden Yuki. Terramaster, what do we got for him?
For Jaden Yuki, I've got the best cards for you related to hero support.
All right, let's see.
Here we go. For Jaden Yuki, we're going to start off with the card that makes one of our Jaden skills absolutely insane, and that is Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. So think about it. If it's special summon, and the skill we have, the right hero for the job, special summon. You special summon this, you grab your Change Quick Play spell card. You're like, Change Quick Play spell card? What's that?
Terramaster?
That's Mass Change, yes.
Terramaster?
Yes.
Can we perhaps do best case scenario of cards we might actually get?
But you have Anki and Koga and Darklaw and it's good.
Yeah, no, they're good. I agree.
They're too good?
They might be too good right now.
Alright, well, I knew you would do this. I knew you would hate on the elemental heroes. So I created a backup. I created a best case Jaden deck that's not as broken.
Okay. Alright, let's let's do this one.
Alright. I guess we'll start with Elemental Hero Blazeman, the confirmed card.
Confirmed.
The one we already know if the leaked promotional poster is to be believed, which I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be. It's a poly searcher which can also actually dump a elemental hero from your deck and become the attribute in attack and defense, so it can use it to power itself up and or give you an attribute if you might need that for something. Hint. All right. Speaking of attributes,
yeah, go ahead and take that one. You know, I feel bad for making you stop before I let you take two in a row.
Oh wow, what a god. Yeah, so we have Liquid Soldier. Now this one may be a little bit strong, but it's not as strong right now in speed duels because it works best when it has other powerful broken heroes to combine with, which it doesn't since you won't let me play Shadow Mist. So it is what it is. When it's normal summon, you can grab another level 4 lower hero monster in your graveyard. So, you know, it doesn't work with the skill. You have to actually use your normal on it. So that's kind of a balance there, I guess. And then if it's used for fusion material, you draw 2 cards and discard 1. Now that's good because it makes you neg less inherently from a fusion summon than you normally would have, which is very important for fusions to be playable at all. So, yeah.
Yep, agreed.
Alright, moving on.
Let's go on to the other water hero. It's Ocean.
Yeah.
Once returned during your standby, target a hero you control or in your grave and return it to the hand. So it's cool. It's just a way to recycle. It is not OP because it is during your standby phase. So first you have to get it onto the field and it has to be there during your standby phase. But there's ways to work around that a little bit. A hero emerges, time to shine.
Surely.
But there's different ways of doing it, but it's just a nice little recursion engine for the deck.
Yes, and there's plays where, like, if you have this, just with the cards we already went over, Blazeman, Liquid Soldier, if you have Ocean out and you can recycle one of those, all of a sudden you're using its effect again when you normal it, right? So
exactly,
yeah, that's just pretty good right there. Moving on to Prisma. This is a card exactly. If you'll remember, we actually did a little experiment with Stratos, actually, not Prisma, but close enough. Yeah. This also helps Dragoon, but Konami killed Fusion Party, so maybe not. So maybe Prisma would just be used for, I don't know, a new fusion they could introduce. That would be nice, but we'll see. For now, Prisma is just very good for anything you want to fusion summon ever, right? Essentially, that has specific materials, so like just not the generic fusions, but if we want to go in a direction where we want to emphasize specific fusions, like what they gave us in Dragoon and Cyberblader, essentially, right? You need Prisma to really make facilitating those easier and competitively viable at all.
Yeah, and that's the cool part, is that it's not actually hero specific. You can use it for really any fusion strategy, which is really neat.
Yep.
I'm actually going to jump to the card you showed already. We're going to go to Stratos.
We are good, yeah.
We talked about this. We did a video on it. Yeah, adding any hero to your deck is great. And then it also can just be... I meant from deck. Did I say to deck?
Yes.
From deck. To hand. Add it to your deck. It's great. Just go neg for no reason. Yeah, add any hero from your deck to your hand, or destroy spells and traps on the field. Obviously, both powerful effects. It can go infinite with itself. It is super good for heroes. Honestly, a card that they absolutely need. So yeah, let's see it.
Again, super good with the right hero for the job skill as well. Since you can summon whatever hero you happen to draw, put that back in the deck, and basically substitute it for a Stratos, almost guaranteeing you open Stratos if you're able to do that. So that seems really good. But moving on to Elemental Hero, Solid Soldier. You have the Liquid Soldier. You gotta have the Solid Soldier. Now, when he's normal summoned, he's power summons a hero monster from your hand instead of graveyard. So yeah, it's mostly worse, but earlier in the game, it might even be better. Especially combine this card with Stratos, which we just talked about. You could basically go Solid Soldier Stratos, and then even Stratos' backer destroying effect is all of a sudden live almost instantly without you having to wait a turn to set up for it.
Yep.
And then if it's fusioned off Solid Soldier, it just says sent to the graveyard by spell effect, but that's usually like Poly or something. Then all of a sudden you're bringing back a monster from the graveyard. So I've talked about this before, but like if you go Solid Soldier plus Stratos and then you fusion, you can bring back that Stratos from Solid Soldier's effect. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, very good.
That's the end of the hero main deck monsters. So should we talk about the hero fusion deck monsters?
Yeah, let's go over to those.
Fusion deck with a boomer. Extra deck.
Fusion deck.
yeah. You want to go ahead and kick us off here?
Yeah, so this is probably the most hopium take with Absolute Zero.
Yeah.
This is probably the least likely of all of the fusions we're going to have here, because it is very strong, but there is a chance that it might be okay. Enough. It will definitely raise the power level of the deck. Yes. But any hero plus a water monster has to be fusion summoned, so you cannot, get it from waking, so there's that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Gains 500 attack for each other water monster on the field. If it leaves the field, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That's right, leaves the field in any way, destroyed, banished, returned to hand, whatever. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Regeki is a pretty good card effect from what I'm told.
That's what I've heard, yes. Well, moving on to a much more mild or tame generic Elemental Hero Fusion. It is Dark Monster, so more good Dark Monsters exist than Water Monsters, which is the plus. The minus is that its effect is only for it to gain attack points equal to a number of Elemental Hero Monsters in the graveyard. Nothing special, but 2800 beater isn't bad, so you have that.
And seems realistic for us to be able to get, and could still give some amount of firepower to the deck.
Right, yeah. But moving on.
Alright, Elemental Hero Gaia! This is an E-Hero plus an Earth monster. Again, has to be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When it is fusion summoned, target a face-up monster your opponent controls. That monster's attack is halved. Gaia gains the attack until the end phase. So really, basically just allows you to beat over anything.
Basically anything, yep.
Which is really cool. And can actually deal a significant amount of battle damage, potentially. And, its base stats aren't terrible. So, yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, no, Gaia is pretty good. Gaia is one of those also that it's strong, but it's probably not too strong where Konami would be scared to give it to us if they want to go in the generic direction.
Right.
So
yeah, it's not OP or anything.
Yeah,
it's just
not
good.
OP, exactly.
Yeah.
A similar effect here is Tornado. Again, it's attack manipulation. However, Tornado just goes ahead and is a wind fusion, first of all, so wind monster plus E-Hero. But it goes ahead and just cuts your attack and defense, actually, of all your opponent's monsters in half. Face up, obviously. So it's different from Gaia, but what's good here is that it's permanent.
Yes.
So the benefit of Tornado over Gaia is that this is a permanent half, so even if your opponent, has Floodgate Trap Hole for your Tornado, well, any monster that they had is still cut in half, and maybe they can't get over the 2200 now. So you've still, in some way, gained an advantage on the board.
Yep.
But let's keep going.
All right, let's go to Nova Master. This is our Fire Fusion. If it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you draw a card. And the base stack, I believe, is what, 26?
Yes, it's 26.
Yeah, so 2600, pretty respectable. And draw a card whenever you destroy a monster by battle. Again, this is the kind of card that I think we absolutely can get. Not overpowered by any means, but decent. Like,
yeah,
something you might want to summon. And Blazeman, of course, we know, can instantly make it possible.
Absolutely,
so,
yes.
Yeah, just a solid card for Jaden to get.
Yeah. Blazeman is really good with this specifically because Blazeman can serve as either the hero or the fire part of it. So you can go with any Fire Monster plus Blazeman or any Elemental Hero plus Blazeman, which makes it extremely flexible how you want to build around Blazeman plus Nova Master. So I honestly hope we really get this one.
Yeah. Agreed.
Moving on to Shining Flare Wingman, which is essentially just a, I don't know, upgrade to regular Flame Wingman.
Yep.
And you're just adding Sparkman to Flame Wingman. But the way to do this, to summon this card realistically, is to use a fusion substitute for the Flame Wingman. And just use Sparkman regularly. So this is one of those cards that, like, if we get this, maybe you would actually see Sparkman played in a deck that wasn't just meant to meme around, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it has that Flame Wingman burn effect, but it's also a lot bigger, so it does have that advantage. But there you go.
Alrighty, and then we got Elemental Hero the Shining. This is our any E-Hero plus a light monster. Gains 300 attack for each of your banished E-Hero monsters. Gee, I wonder how we're going to banish our E-Heroes. And if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target up to 2 of your banished E-Hero monsters and add them to your hand. So nice little recycle effect there.
Yes, recycles from the banished pile like a Dimensional Alchemist, but much better. So there's that. But we're done. That is all the Elemental Hero monsters. However, contrary to what people believe, Jaden did not play exclusively Elemental Hero monsters.
True. Let's go ahead and start with the boy Card Trooper.
That's right.
This is a signature Jaden card, actually. And again, I feel like this falls in the category of card that is good, but not would just break speed duels if we got it.
Right.
Yeah, you can discard up to the top 3 cards of your deck, gain 500 attack for each card, and if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, draw a card. So it's solid, gets the 1900 if you want it to, and if you have a strategy that wants you to pitch cards into the graveyard, it can help with that, and it replaces itself by drawing a card, so just solid.
Yeah, no, overall, very solid card, and has a lot of, like, flexible uses, and like you said, it's not broken or anything. Yeah. Moving on to King of the Swamp. Now, this is a card I think we should have had already, but better late than never would definitely be a best-case scenario at this point. So, it's a fusion substitute, but it's not just that. It also has the effect of searching for polymerization by discarding itself from hand, which means if you have poly in your deck and some way to graveyard fuse, wonder what that could be. This can set up 2 things with 1 effect, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's great. Moving on to Necro Gardener, so that I can play Lightsworns, I assume is why we have it here.
Obviously.
Yeah, there's another card that Jaden played. And speaking of things you might want to mill with Card Trooper, how about from the graveyard, banish to negate your opponent's attack? Seems good.
Yeah, seems very good. This is the first type of graveyard negation we would have, because Harness Shrine just summons you a monster. It doesn't actually negate the attack. So this would be like the first of its kind that we have. There's other cards that do very similar things to Necro Gardener, but this would be the first one we got, so that would be nice. And it's the perfect time to get it, honestly. All right, moving on to Winged Kuribo. That's right. If you remember Jaden's Duel Spirit, this is a Winged Kuribo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only reprint we have here. However, there's a very important reason why we reprinted Winged Kuribo.
Yes. And that is to get to its evolved form, Winged Kuribo level 10.
Easy. Look at this monster. Look at his effect. Have you seen this effect?
It's huge. So you have the Summon with Transcendent Wings, which is the spelled card that's in front of it.
Yes.
I like that it specifies a face-up or face-down Winged Kuribo you control, so that you can use face-down, which is great. Yes. And 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, so it's a steep cost to summon it, but it is a quick play, so it can be done during, say, I don't know, your opponent's battle phase. Now, why would we care about that?
Seems good.
Well, let's look at this effect. As a quick effect during your opponent's battle phase, you contribute this face-up card, destroy as many attack possession monsters as your opponent controls as possible, and then inflict damage equal to the combined attack of those monsters. So this is just an absolute potential blowout card. Now, you might be saying, does speed duels really need more burn? Like, no, but this is not an easy thing to set up because you need the Winged Kuribo on the field, you need the Transcendent Wings, you need the 2 cards in your hand to discard. And you need to do it during your opponent's battle phase, and if they just say Cosmic Cyclone or Night Beam or Breaker your Transcendent Wings before you get to use it.
Right.
I mean,
it is in essence a 4-card combo, which is why it's fine. And we should talk about like kind of how we decided what goes in here. And a bare minimum is that players would want to try the card and would want to have fun with it, is the best case scenario. Look, we know realistically, right, which is why I'm not doing Shadow Mist and Masked Heroes, that every card in the set is not going to impact competitive top tier play. However, as long as every card is at least something that is fun, if not competitive, right? There should be competitive cards, absolutely. But there should also be cards that are just in there for you to experiment with and have fun with. And Wing Kuribo is probably what that is.
Yes, which, by the way, this is exactly the argument that I made to Terra Master when we were deciding whether or not to put this in this video. So there you go, it worked.
Yes, it worked. I am convinced you have won. All right, we also have the Flute of Summoning Kuribo to search your Wing Kuribo and make your combo a little more consistent. I guess also this is just, you know, can be a way for you to survive a turn against all the aggro we have now in post-banless format.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on.
Yep. Emergency Call. Yes, it is time for the next of the hero spell cards. We just assumed this is why Roto was pre-limited to 1, because we are getting Emergency Call to search your deck for any elemental hero you want. Easy, good card. Give it.
Yeah, they just didn't want us to have 4 copies of this, so I mean 6. Sorry, 4 is 6. Fine. Yeah. You also have the Oversoul. So as you notice, we haven't included H in here. That's because that was in the worst case scenario. But so figured they need to repeat that here. Oversoul basically brings back a normal elemental monster in your graveyard, special summons it, which is again not great, but it might be something that people are going to want to play around with. So it's in here. Mm-hmm. Also completes the hero set for whatever that's worth.
Yep. And yeah, we're talking about, well, how do we banish our elemental heroes? Yes. Well, here you go. It's time for Miracle Fusion. Fusion summon your elemental hero fusion monster. Banish fusion materials on it from your field or graveyard. So yeah, Card Trooper can even load up your graveyard with heroes, potentially. Yes. Miracle Fusion them. This is what we need. This is so you can use your heroes as regular monsters and then get used out of them for your fusions, plus the effects we talked about with the banishing, like with the Shining and all of that. Yes. We need it. It's time. It
is perfect. You need it. I want it. The community wants it. Konami, everybody wants this card in Speed Duels. Yeah. So just give it to us. And then what do you do with your monsters once they're banished, you may ask? Well, you could, if you wanted to, on the following turn, obviously. Activate Parallel World Fusion. And I said the following turn because you see it has that restriction there. No special summons except by this card's effect during the turn. However, it is the perfect follow-up to Miracle Fusion in that it gives you a second fusion monster right away. So one big hero fusion monster per turn. That doesn't seem that bad. And if you were able to summon another one before you miracled, well, now you've got 3 big fusion monsters, and that's going to be tough for anybody to beat.
Yep, absolutely. Alright, let's move on to the field spell. Skyscraper itself, it's okay. But Skyscraper 2 Hero City, well, there's a reason why we got a second one. This one's better. During your turn, during your main phase, you can target an E-Hero monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle, special summon that target. It is important to note, it does not say destroyed by battle last turn.
Correct.
It is just, if it was destroyed by battle at any point in this duel, you can special summon it.
Yes. And as and this card is really good with what we've already pointed out here, the heroes we have, right? So Stratos, it's amazing with Stratos. It could be good with Prisma, it could be good with Ocean, if you could have it survive. If you need to search Poly, it's good with Blazeman. And notice it doesn't restrict the type of hero you can summon. It doesn't say level 4 or lower. So if one of your fusion heroes was destroyed by battle, well, guess what? You can go ahead and recur that too if you properly summoned it the first time, obviously.
Yeah, well, summon them. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty good, and this might be one of the reasons why they hit Metaverse. Who knows?
Yeah.
Never afraid of this card. It's too good. All right, moving on to Fusion Reserve. Now, this is another one of those cards which I believe we should have already had, right? Where it searches a fusion material, and then it also searches Poly from your graveyard. So combining this with Blazeman actually makes Fusion a decent deck. Could you imagine the horror? But hopefully that is something that happens, that Fusion support, whether that comes in cards like this, or a good Fusion skill, since say Destroyed Fusion Party, or a combination of both. Either way.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Yeah. Either way, GX is the Fusion era, and I would like to see Fusion support.
Yep, completely agree. All right, the last card on the list, some of you may have seen it and wondered what the hell is wrong with us. This was my final addition to our video for this. It is Alistair the Invoker. You might be saying, what the hell does Invoked have to do with Jaden? Nothing. That's why there is no other Invoked card on this list. Yes. It is simply a Fusion Monster battle trick. That's right.
Yes.
We're not adding Invocation. We're not adding Invoked Monsters. No. This is simply a Fusion Monster battle trick. That's right. Get it. Alistair, good card. It's time.
It's Fusion Honest, fool.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, think about it. Nova Master, 2600. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, 3500. Invoker Boost, 1000.
That's right.
What does that equal? Draw one card. Easy. Yes. Get good, Moth.
Moth isn't the only one that can draw a card for free.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that's a bit of a meme to end it there. But other than that, let us know what you think is the best case scenario for Jaden. Is it one of these cards, a lot of these cards, or is there something we missed that you really want to see included in that Jaden deck? But that's not all, obviously. We've got 3 more best case scenario videos to go, and each one, trust me, is better than the previous one. Especially if you like the Alistair inclusion here, but that's all I'll say. But until next time, for the best case Cyrus scenario, Terra Master and Justice, we're out.